alaikum. You already know I'm from Brooklyn because my voice is like 10 times louder than hers. And I'm not even trying to speak loud. This is just how I speak. How's everybody doing this morning? Alhamdulillah. I'm from New York, so you know, you guys got to give me some of that energy. Assalamu alaikum. All right, that's better, that's better.
They're using Slido for questions.
Whatever that means. I'm grandma. I don't know what Slido is.
I'm sorry, this is a fault on my part. So for questions, we will be using Slido. That is S-L-I-D-O. So the access code that you will need is YP 2017.
So that must be something on the app you have or something. And I'm cool, but I'm not that cool, so I don't know what she's talking about. But apparently that's how you're gonna ask me questions. I am just so excited to be here. This is probably the best year of my life and the worst year of my life, all at the same time. So I'm always so grateful and humbled to be amongst my Muslim sisters and brothers, my family. I just feel a lot of love. I feel like the true sense of the word when we say ummah when I come to MAS-ICNA. This is actually my second year in a row at MAS-ICNA, and mashallah, what a beautiful program, beautiful speakers, beautiful attendees, and I hope that you all are enjoying it as much as I am. So the topic today was the next president of the United States of America sitting in this room. Who here is born in the United States? Okay, so that's process of elimination. So definitely, if you are born in the United States, you could definitely be the next president of the United States of America. Now, if you were not born in the United States, raise your hand. Okay, so look around. Those folks who were not born here can still be your Secretary of State, Secretary of Energy, Secretary of Transportation, members of your cabinet. So we all got a role to play. So don't worry. All of us are going to have a position when there becomes the real first Muslim president of the United States of America. Because apparently, according to some, we already had a Muslim president. He wasn't very happy about that. Now, we have been questioned many times, and I don't know if people remember during the 2016 elections, literally, they said there's no way that we can ever allow for there to be a Muslim president in this country. And throughout the past few years, and in more recent times, people have questioned us. Are we worthy? Are we as Muslims American enough? Do we love our country? Do we have loyalty to this country? People have asked us, but your religion is incompatible with the Constitution of the United States of America. People have said that your religion, Islam, belongs on the other side of the world, that you can't serve this nation because you have no loyalty to this nation. And it has started to seep into our young people. And our young people starting to ask themselves, do I have to be less Muslim so that I can make it far, so that I can accomplish the things that I want to accomplish? And I'm here to tell you today that I want you to be unapologetically Muslim, like so unapologetically Muslim like the whole world can't handle it. Because we don't have to be less of anything of who we are to do whatever it is that we set our minds to. And that means that yes, the next president of the United States of America is sitting in this room. We have to start re-educating ourselves about as American Muslims. And one of the reasons people think that I have courage, they say, Sister Linda, you're so courageous. You always say whatever you want to say and you stand up. What is it? I say to people, it's not courage that I have. What I have is a pride in the deen that I follow. I don't allow anybody to define who I am or how I am or how I show up or how Muslim I should be. I am going to be all of me, an extra Muslim. Because you know why? Because I have every right to be unapologetically Muslim in these United States of America. But not only do I have every right to be unapologetically Muslim in this country, I have a responsibility, and you all have a responsibility. And in order for us to truly believe and to instill in our young people that you can actually be the next president of the United States of America, maybe not the next one, because you got to be 37. That's how old I am, if you ever wondered. So technically, I could be president of the United States of America. You never know. You never know. Allahu A'lam. But one of the things that we have to instill in our community is a sense of pride, not just being Muslim, but a sense of pride in being a Muslim in America. Because our young people don't always understand their lineage in these United States of America. So I'm going to take you on a little journey, on some history lessons. And many of you already know this, and I've said these things many times before, but it's important to reiterate and to absorb and to hold deep in your heart. You know, a lot of times people say to me, go back to your country. If you don't like it here, go back to where you came from. Well, I came from Brooklyn, New York. That's the first thing. And I would happily go back to the land of where my parents were born in Palestine. So let's free Palestine. I'd be happy to go back there. But our lineage as American Muslims is so deep in this country. We actually earned our right to become the next president of the United States of America. Sisters and brothers, our history in this country is full of so much resilience and so much pride and so much sacrifice that it actually brings tears to my eyes to think about it. Sisters and brothers, we as Muslims have been on the shores of these United States of America before it was even called the United States of America. That Turks and Moors from North Africa came here hundreds of years ago as expeditionists. And did you know that galley slaves came and built the first English colony called Roanoke Colony on what you know now as the coast of North Carolina? So it was Muslims who built the first English colony. And then some decades later, enslaved Africans were stripped of their homeland, of their culture, of their families, of their resources. And 25 to 30% of those enslaved Africans were Muslims. So I want to ask you a question, sisters and brothers. You know, I hear a lot of times in our community we talk about Islamophobia and all these really bad things that are happening to Muslims, and it's true. There are a lot of bad things that are happening right now. But I want to take you back a little bit. I want you to imagine for a second that you were an enslaved African Muslim living under the watch of a slave master, enduring the hardship and the torture of the journey as an enslaved person to come to these United States of America, watching your daughters, your wives tortured and raped, oftentimes being separated from your immediate family, someone trying to strip you of your culture and what you knew of your history and where you came from. Sometimes you were fed, sometimes you weren't. You were treated as property, not as the human being that was deserving of love and compassion and dignity like our God wanted. So I ask you, my dear sisters and brothers, when you're feeling low, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling sad, I want you to take it back and put yourself in the position of your Muslim ancestor who had to live and figure out how to be a Muslim, how to pray, how to remember and believe that there was still a God even while they were living under the watch of a slave master. That is your story. That's your story. That's our story. Nobody could take our story away from us. We have a lineage to a people of faith in this country who, because of them and their sacrifices, you get to sit in this room here today at MAS-ICNA and call yourself a Muslim American. This is not magic, sisters and brothers. You didn't just show up or were born in the United States of America and all of a sudden you got up and you were like, Assalamu alaikum, I'm Muslim. This is not how it works in this country. Somebody sacrificed for you to be in this room. And it started with enslaved people who sacrificed for you to be here. And because of those enslaved people, our immigrant great-grandparents from Pakistan and India and Palestine and Lebanon and Syria and Egypt were able to come and pick up and build masajid for us and build institutions for us, because they were continuing a legacy that existed before our great-grandparents came here to go to medical school or to flee political and religious persecution, conflict and war. So that's your story. What else do they say about the Muslims that makes us think that we don't love our country enough, or we're not patriotic enough to be serving the presidency of the United States of America? And I think that we have a misunderstanding in this country of what the word patriotism means. Sisters and brothers, don't let anybody try to compare us living in the United States of America, in the land of freedom and democracy, right? In the home of the brave, right? Try to compare us to Saudi Arabia, or to compare us to monarchies